Hey everybody, Gabby here, and welcome to today's episode of 8 Battle a Day. If you're liking this series, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really means a lot. So, like we featured on Monday, we're going to be featuring another battle today with the Tapu Lele SLURPUFF team. Now, if you want more information about what I think about this team or how it's supposed to be run, you can check out my video from Monday over here. And the first 10 minutes or so, I spent some time talking about the team and what I think of it and all that good stuff. Unfortunately, on Monday, we had a bit of a rough matchup. And also, I didn't realize how the speed tiers matched up on this game, or on this team. So we'll have to see if we get a better matchup. And if I remember that Porygon 2 is actually slower than Metagross, surprise, surprise, outside of Trick Room. So we'll see how this works out. I'm really hoping for the opportunity to showcase Tapu Lele and SLURPUFF, and I don't think this is it. Oh man, with two Steel-type Pokemon, this is definitely going to be tough. And if my memory serves correct, we don't have any Fire-type moves on Lele. So this is not the matchup that I was hoping for, but this is the matchup that we got. So what I'm going to do is let's lead in Sin and Zapdos. I think these two will probably be the best that we can provide right now with Metagross and then Porygon 2 in the back. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but having two Fairy-type Pokemon against a team with two Steel-type Pokemon, you don't play that matchup. I mean, maybe if Tapu Lele had something that could actually hit the Heatran or the Celesteela for super effective damage, but it is what it is, unfortunately. So good luck, have fun to my opponent. It's certainly an interesting team. It's kind of taking the final form of Series 7. And what I mean by that is, having Pokemon like Grimmsnarl, having the Zapdos, it's encapsulating the bulk that the team has. And my opponent appears to be cosplaying Persona. That outfit looks just like the school uniform from Persona 5. I'm not even kidding. That is amazing. Oh my god. And also my opponent leads the two Steel-type Pokemon, so even though we're still going to have a bit of a rough matchup from here on out, this is certainly more advantageous than anything else that we could have gotten at this point in time. So I am going to go ahead and Dynamax the Zapdos and go straight for a Max Lightning into the Celesteela. I could have also gone for some speed control here, but I think what I'm going to do is get some damage down on the Celesteela first, and then maybe switch into Porygon 2 and start working in some speed control. Fortunately, the Metagross will be able to damage the Celesteela a little bit. Oh, we got played. Yeah, we got played. All right. We need a plan B. That did not work out as intended at all. Oh, that's okay. That happens. Always remember that when your opponent has a Landorus-Therian on their team and they have a flying-type Pokemon on the field, that switch is always a possibility. And it's sort of, again, going back to the whole, final form of Series 7, I feel like just having this bulky synergy is just where we've ended up with this entire series. And I'm curious how it's going to translate moving forwards from here. I honestly don't know, because it's interesting. So, okay, well first let me get my move in for this turn. So we are going to do a full switch into the Porygon 2 and go straight for the Airstream into the Landorus. But it's interesting because it feels like a very long time since we've had a metagame like this where it's just bulky, legendary Pokemon. Everybody has screens. Admittedly, we've never been in a metagame where everybody has screens, but in Series 7, everybody has screens. Everybody has multiple Intimidate users. Everybody has, defense buffs via... I was lucky. Via the Dynamax moves, and it's just... It's intriguing. I'm I'm not really sure if we're going to see this persist on into Series 8. I think initially it will be hyper aggressive, but after that initial aggression, I don't know what to expect. So I'm excited. I started building my first Series 8 team on Twitch last night. We built a Kyogre team with a shiny Kyogre I caught in Pokemon Go, which I still think is absolutely incredible that this is like the future that we live in. I just think it's very neat. So I don't know. The team that I built is definitely on the aggressive side, but I've also been playing around offline with a Calyrex Ice Rider team that is based off of a team I saw. Sorry, that was my groceries being delivered. They'll be fine downstairs for 10 minutes, I hope. It's based off a team that I saw Aaron do a video on recently. If you remember the it was a team by Will VGC, and it was just very bulky, but it also had Glastrier on a team where you didn't necessarily need Trick Room. Excuse me. And I thought that was a really interesting option for Calyrex Ice Rider because it's just a Pokemon that, you know, it's a little bit too fast to be hard Trick Room, but if you could run it on a team that doesn't necessarily need Trick Room, then you could always decide, you know, how do I get the speed to play in Calyrex's advantage? I got there. So we'll see. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to end up running that team. It's a little bit difficult as well because I'm not even sure what IVs my Calyrex has on this card. I might have to go and like try and find another Calyrex, which means replaying the game or asking somebody for one. So that's future Gabby's problem, is the TLDR of that whole statement. But I'm intrigued by it. I'm hoping to have a couple of these teams ready to go after this weekend so we can jump immediately onto Battle Stadium starting on Tuesday's stream and do some really interesting laddering and just see what's out there, because I feel like that's something I just haven't gotten a feel for yet. So now that our Dynamax is over and we're just kind of chilling, I think what I'm going to do is go for the knockout onto the Heatran and just like try to keep Porygon 2 around for as long as possible. And yeah, that protect from my opponent makes sense there. Once Landorus is small again, I want to be able to target it with Foul Play from Porygon 2, since I think that's my best bet for dealing damage on it. So we might lose Zapdos here. Yeah, we're gonna lose Zapdos here, but I think that's okay. This gives us an opportunity to get Incineroar in and get a... Actually, getting an Intimidate down on this Landorus would be counterintuitive to the Foul Play. It would actually weaken it overall, so maybe I shouldn't do that. If we send in Metagross, we're going to outspeed the Heatran, I think, for sure. And the only issue would be a potential Earthquake from the opposing Landorus or another ground-type attack. But we could always Protect to avoid that. Alternatively, we know my opponent isn't going to go for it this turn. I guess they could switch in Celesteela. Yeah, they could switch in Celesteela and Earthquake. So maybe what we'll do is just one of these guys just to stall out for a turn, see how much damage the Foul Play does, and then figure out the rest of our game plan from there. Okay, no switch, so I would have been correct in predicting that, but it's too much of a read. I was convinced that my opponent would rely on the Landorus rather than the Heatran to try and do damage here to the Metagross, but if he's going to just Rock Slide and Heat Wave, that certainly does give me a bit more confidence in keeping the Metagross around and just going for big damage. So, admittedly, he can now go for the Protect Earthquake play if he wants to, so I think I do have to go ahead and switch here and slow things down a little bit to make up for initial blunders. Oh, maybe I should get a new outfit. I've been rocking the Ice Cube t-shirt for a while, but I also feel like it's a very Gabby outfit. I really like how my opponent is dressed up right now, so I wish that I could wear a snazzy blazer. I don't think the female characters have a snazzy blazer, but I wish we did. I know there's the Marnie coat, but that's a little bit too punk rock. I don't think I could pull that off, quite frankly. All right, so second Rock Slide. Yeah, so my opponent is just going to go Rock Slide, Heat Wave, Rock Slide, Heat Wave, which is fine. I hope we don't flinch here. Commentator's Curse. That's fine. I think we should be able to go for a recover next turn. So we can flinch the Landorus and then recover and then slowly just work our way through this. Another thing that we could do potentially is go for a Eerie Impulse on that Heatran, but I guess once Metagross comes back out and it's safe and I'm not like avoiding Earthquake plays, we could definitely do that. So, but for now, I think we just play it slow, wait out the Sandstorm, Earth Power. Okay. All right, so we're going to Eerie Impulse this turn and go for a Zen Headbutt KO, I think, on the Landorus. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. I'm not that surprised though, because Heatran is known for having Earth Power. I think I'm more surprised that my opponent just kept relying on Heat Wave if they were worried about Metagross. Like I'm thinking that my opponent realizes how big of a threat the Metagross can be to their entire team, and as a result, like, wants to sort of interact accordingly. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, he's still going Rock Slide. Maybe it's just a Scarf Landorus or something, and that's the move that they locked into. I mean, that's a possibility as well. And because of the Airstream, Porygon2 actually outspeeds Metagross, so that's nice. That's good to know. But hopefully, no. All right, we're just slower, which works out here actually, because that means we will have a weakness policy proc onto the Metagross from the Heat Wave, so that's pretty good. Except we flinched, which is bad. So now we have to wait another turn and do this. Maybe my opponent will run out of Rock Slide PP. I mean, it's certainly been long enough. Oh, they're probably so frustrated right now. Like, why are you doing this? There's the Earthquake. Okay, well that worked out. And Shucka Berry on the Heatran. I wonder if Heatran's taken enough damage for that to just KO, because that would be amazing. Okay, great. Cool. He crit his own Heatran for the knockout. I don't think that helps us, but it's pretty funny. Actually, no. What is, I think Landorus is at like -2, -3 at this point. Maybe. I don't know. Let me double check that. Admittedly, if he hadn't gotten flinched there, okay, Urshifu. That's probably something worth being afraid of, to the point where we go for the bigger damage onto the Urshifu. Yeah, that's gonna KO Metagross pretty easily. I'm fairly certain. Yep. That's alright. We got to see my opponent knock out their Heatran with a critical hit. That's pretty good. In terms of, like, winning strategies here, I shouldn't have Dynamaxed the Zapdos. I had zero need for speed control at that point in time, and quite frankly, I feel like it just set me off on the wrong foot. I was also playing as if Metagross had access to Ice Punch, which is something that I usually run, but my opponent does not have on this team. So I feel like I just kind of tried to rely on Ol Reliable, and it just wasn't there. So I did go for the foul play into the Urshifu because I wanted to see how much damage this is going to do. Just curious. But I really liked how my opponent recognized that Lele and SLURPUFF was going to be a big problem and just led their 2 Steel-type Pokemon. Another thing I could have done as well would have been led Metagross and Incin. And, ooh, that did absolutely nothing. Yeah. Alright, we're going to forfeit. We could have led Metagross and Incin and then, like, fake out Earth or Stomping Tantrum the Heatran, and I don't know, like, had something going on with that interaction. With the Shucka Berry, I don't think it would have been a knockout, obviously, and at that point in time, most likely the Metagross would have been faster because there was no Airstreams on the field. So, yeah, Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I like this team on paper, but there's definitely other ways I would play the Metagross and the Porygon too, just to align with my expectations. But I do want to give this team one more shot on Friday because I think it's really neat and it does have a lot of potential. And I really want to showcase the Lele and the Slurpuff. That's all I'm asking. So yeah, let me know what you think of this team down in the comments. I know that I'm not the only YouTuber to feature it as of late. And I do really think it's a neat take on the Drifblim and Tapu Lele Unburdened combination that has done well in previous formats. Also, if you are leaving a comment and you have a team that you want me to try, or you have something in Series 8 that you're particularly psyched out of your mind about, let me know down below. I'm curious to see what people are building around and what people think they're the legendaries or the restricted Pokemon that are going to be the most powerful in the format. I've started putting together my own my own takes that I'm going to try and record this weekend, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's all I got for today. I gotta go downstairs and grab some groceries. But thanks everybody for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.